Okay, so here we are. The old buzzard's about to go up, hit it, and then we're gonna do Newman, which is right behind Ron, and it goes up and through, up, 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 up. It's pretty treacherous all the way up to that saddle up there, and then the backside is so fun going down, but dangerous as well.
I am a brand ambassador for Podium Finish and Pivot Cycles. If you haven't been to Podium Finish on Texas Avenue in El Paso, you ought to visit the new location, the lunch menu, the breakfast menu, the coffee drinks, the beer garden in the back, the meeting rooms and board rooms and places to host parties are phenomenal. Visit Ephraim at the bike shop and check out the Pivot Cycles and have a bite to eat while you're there. It's phenomenal.
Holy shit, can't believe I'm keeping up with Ron. Some wet going up Newman. I know as it gets harder, he's gonna slip away, I think.
So I wanted to give my take on Newman from a intermediate rider's perspective, if you will. I was obviously a rookie when I first rode Newman, had no idea what I was getting into on a hardtail Trek Marlin 7, and had a really nasty spill on this trail on the backside of what you see us going up now, and ended up 20 yards down the mountain. So you know, luckily I didn't have any major breaks or tears. I was just bleeding and had cactus stuck all in me for about 2 months, and you know, I was finding that stuff forever. So you know, if you're a beginner rider, I wouldn't recommend this trail. If you're an intermediate rider, you better pack some Moxie, because it's a tough trail. It takes a lot of focus. You can't let your guard down at any moment, because if you do, you can end up over the side. And this video does not do the exposure justice in a lot of these places. The side of that slope is a lot steeper than it looks on this footage. And if you go off, even let a front tire accidentally slip off like I did and go OTD, you're in trouble. You're going to end up about 20 yards down the mountain in a bunch of cactus and rocks, and hopefully you don't break anything. So those of us that have had spills on this trail know all too well it can be very dangerous. It's a blast. It's fun. I feel very safe on it now. I'm confident. This was my best ride up Newman on that backside. My first ride over Newman took me an hour up and over, and now I'm doing it in 29 minutes, and I probably could push a little harder, but I having a pacemaker, I take a couple of breaks when I'm climbing. Ron can do it nonstop. He's a beast and is phenomenal. But, just take your time. If you see something you don't like, get off the bike and hike it. If you don't like an obstacle on the way down, get off and hike over it. Got to have a dropper post. I think this is a trail that's a must for a dropper post, especially on the descent, because there are some areas where you want that butt down low and you want to be in that ready position so you don't have any OTBs. So hope you enjoy the descent. It's a blast.
Now for some fun. We earned it. And now for some downhill fun. Here we go. God, this section's always so loose. All right. All right, Mike, keep the tongue in. I haven't been down this in a while, and with all the rains, we don't know. Oh. Yeah! All right, I love making it through that section. Damn, yucca about knocked me off the bike. Seat down. Look at that. That'll be cool. Film. Look at that. The birds. Meep, meep, meep. Meep, meep. Oh, look at that. Only in the Franklins. You ain't gonna see that in your backyard. Hundreds of them. Look at this. We found Renee here. His other half is not here. She's probably out doing 150 miles on a road bike today, right? Or something?
Probably.
So he just came down off Newman too. So I'm glad we got to see Renee.
I thought I'd take a moment and give everyone an update on some information that you may or may not know. And also the advantage of being a member with the BMBA, which I have been for I think 3 years now. If you're not a member of the BMBA and you want to join, there's a little thing you can scan there and you can join. I highly suggest it. Support the BMBA. Support what they do for all of us, the trails, and just the example is what I'm going to cover here on this slide. On the bottom left, you'll see that little yellow plat. That is part of the Bowen Ranch lease where the ranch is. And a lot of people have been worried about what's going to happen to the ranch. And we found out this weekend unofficially that that little yellow plat on the bottom left map is going to be purchased by the state park, which means it's going to be preserved. We're not going to lose it. That's a good thing. I believe that races will be able to continue happening there. The only thing is, because it's going to be a state park, is there's going to be no alcohol. So, I don't think that's a big deal, considering we can still have races there moving forward. This is not done yet. They're still working on the details on the easement, and the covenant and all that stuff was discussed. I'm learning a lot about that by attending these meetings as well. We're hoping that the state park's going to be able to do some things to the Bowen Ranch and not just leave it as is. So they're working out all those details. The state park is in that purchase, and we'll see where that goes. Top right is the Lost and Found connector that Rodney covered. They're hopefully going to start construction on that trail, that bypass around that Joe Quarry. You can see that little line bypassing it up on the top right. In November sometime, so we're going to need some volunteers. The old buzzards are planning to get out there and volunteer a couple of times. It's probably going to take about 6 months, they said, to get that built, but it's actually going to add about a half a mile to the trail, Mark said, so that's pretty cool. And the one on the bottom right is the Kastner Range. So just FYI, in my lifetime, being 62, I'm probably never going to see riding on Kastner Range. It's probably, we're talking decades out. The government is just being very hushed. They're not responding to anything with anybody about the Kastner Range, even though it's now preserved. So just FYI, in our lifetime, if you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s, you're probably never going to see it. If you're in your 20s and 30s, you might have a chance. So say some prayers, and maybe they'll be answered. But I don't think I'm going to get to see that in my lifetime. So I just want to give you all these updates and reasons why you should join the BMBA to stay plugged into all this stuff. I learned a lot about the Frontier Land Alliance and what they've done to help with the Lost Dog area, and why they don't want people building stuff and adding stuff because of the way these easements and covenants work. They can get in trouble with that, so we don't want that to happen. So anyway, one last thing. Mark had talked about some upgrades to the Lost Dog Trailhead that they're going to hopefully get approved. Again, that's in the future, where they're going to try to improve the Lost Dog Trailhead. So just all kinds of stuff happens at these meetings. If you're not a member with the BMBA, again, I strongly urge you and suggest that you join, and please get your state park pass, get your annual pass. So even if you forget to book the day pass, at least you have the annual pass and you're riding legal. But then, if you do have that pass, make sure you're booking the day passes because they need the credits for that. That's going to help the state park. That's going to help the funding. That's going to help maybe in the future with the Bow and Wrench and what they might be able to do with that, depending on what happens with that purchase and the easement and covenants and all that stuff. So anyway, join the BMBA. Please support the local BMBA.
Look at this badass girl right here.
Hey,
Good job. How you doing? What's up, man?
Thank you.
Good job, man. Good. Hello. How you doing? Got Renee here again. Pony. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
This is the gathering spot for all the crazy ass mountain bikers. The watering hole, if you will.
We like to suffer a little bit.
Yeah, but after suffering, this is a good spot to come and congregate, right? And sit in the shade and hopefully you don't see any rattlesnakes. We gotta get Christopher. He had to go do an extra 5 miles just to show the old farts how to do it, right? Get Christopher on film a little bit. This young man, I have watched him grow up and blossom from a little kid to a teenager now, and he is a absolute beast. Podiums almost every race, if not every race he's in. And he is good. Because we saw Renee at the bottom of Newman.
Okay.
We had just finished Newman and we saw Renee. So here's Lorena.